Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. Why are Arsenal so crap? A serious question. It would be very easy, and I would just say to Arsenal fans, this is a serious point. How does a club that finished in the 15-16 season second, and in the last 4 years has gone 5th, 6th, 5th, 8th, and currently 9th? It's a serious question. I could joke, I could say let's laugh at Arsenal, but I think we've moved past that. Why are Arsenal a team declining to ridiculously low levels? Why are a big club like Arsenal where they are? We're going to be talking about that today and talking about the issues about how Arsenal get back. Can Arsenal get back? Because I think that as a non-Arsenal fan looking at this, it's going to be really interesting to see what the comments say, because I don't get what the issue is with Arsenal from your fans. Now, we all know, like Manchester United, like certain other clubs, there are loud, there are vocal people. And you hear about Arteta out t-shirts, and you hear about get rid of this player, oh, Xhaka's shit, this, that and the other. But I don't actually, and this is where I think as a fan base you're failing, I don't hear enough like we hear about United. We do hear about Glazers out a lot. It does end up trending a lot and all that stuff on social media. And I think an outsider of a Man United fan would know that whilst there are issues on the pitch, and there have been, there's massive issues with how the club is run. Now, I do hear little bits about Arsenal, but I don't really hear it on a weekly basis about how Arsenal get better and how clearly the issue at Arsenal is the board. Because when you look at Arsenal, they should not be where they are. They are not doing very well. Now, I did ask people on Twitter about this, and I got a couple of good replies. Henry Shaw said, as an Arsenal fan, the lack of faith from Kroenke, transition in the squad, manager and staff, other big clubs being good, like Everton have had a really good season, Liverpool won the league, City are mental, Chelsea look great under Tuchel, Villa looking very good, Bruno is doing brilliant at Manchester United. And then another question, we've got a lot of Deadwood players that we have no choice other than to play them. And a lot of people talking about the Ozil deal, bad recruitment, debt, and lots of other things that feed into what's going on at Arsenal. But I think the thing for me is that they've not been in the Champions League for a few years, and that Champions League money would be really important. But there's no prospect. I sit here as a non-Arsenal fan and say, I don't see how that football club is getting back. And that's the point of the question. Why are Arsenal so crap? And how do they get back? Is Arsenal's only hope? And I speak to, some Arsenal fans who come into the United Stand comments and get involved, which is fine. And they'll say, we just need a new owner. We need somebody to buy into the club like Man City have had or like Chelsea have had, because there's no way back from this. The revenues at Arsenal are pretty good and have been good for probably, going back to the Wenger years. I think they're clearing close to 400 million a year in revenue, but their debt is, I think 50 million debt has just been released in the last year. So they're losing money. And they're losing money on their transfers as well. I think one of the things you look at Arsenal, because I don't see Arsenal getting better. As I said, I don't see them getting better. And as a non-Arsenal fan, that's music to my ears. But then there is the sympathy, which you never want. And I think you always get, I always say this to fellow United fans, you will get, if you cut through the bitterness and everything like that, and you speak to a rival fan on a level, you will get the best critique you can get. Because when Arsenal fans used to say to me, oh, Fellaini's playing, we're really happy, that means Fellaini's shit. And when people are saying, I hope Solskjaer gets a new contract, that's worrying when a rival's saying that, because they don't think he's a threat. And when I'm saying to you as an Arsenal, as somebody looking at Arsenal, that I feel sorry for you, then you need to worry, because that means that I and others have gone past laughing at you. When we used to laugh at you, that was because you were a big club and it was like, oh my God, they've lost to Stoke or something like that. Nowadays, it's expected. Nowadays, you're becoming comfortable in the mid-table matters. Nowadays, those jokes about, well, at least Arsenal are top of page 2 on the league table, they're not jokes anymore, because it's becoming a theme. 8th last year, you've been around the mid-table a lot this year. I don't see it getting any better. And I don't think it sits with the manager. I think with Arteta, you've got a coach there that you can't just be a club that keeps changing the manager. I say this about Manchester United a lot. A lot of people at the moment want Solskjaer out, they want Mourinho out, they want Van Gaal out, but the problem just continues. It's a cycle. Now, I'm not saying that any of those managers were the right managers, but certainly the board isn't the right board at Manchester United, and I think this is the issue at Arsenal. Because with Arteta, I see something that makes sense to me. I see something with Arteta that makes sense in relation to he's removed Ozil, he's removed some of the problems. He is looking to use people like Saka and Smith Rowe and players like that, and looking to build something out, because that's the only way he can do it. The only way for Arsenal is a long road of recovery. The shortcut Every summer you'll hear an Arsenal fan saying top 4 this year, and I said it with Emery, and I'll certainly say it with Arteta. Even next season, you're not getting top 4. So your challenge to get into the Champions League is to try and win the Europa League this year, which is probably your best bet, really. The Europa League is not as strong as the Champions League. It's a fact. If you can win that, it puts you into the Champions League. I think you've got more chance every year of being in the Europa League and winning it than you have of getting top 4 in England, because you're miles off that. And Arteta may be able to build a team for the future, but how scary is this? How are you going to bring in players? You bought so badly. There isn't a lot of money. The revenue is high, but the debt is there as well. So it's not like you can go out and buy an Erling Haaland or anything like that. I mean, I think Arsenal have spent quite well in recent years, but those signings have not worked out. I was looking on Transfer Market at the values of Arsenal players, and look, you've got to take this with a pinch of salt, but your top 5 valuable players at the moment is quite scary, because if you're looking to generate money to bring players in, that's not going to happen, because you don't want to lose these players I'm going to list here. Saka is your most valuable player at £54 million. 19, he's a player you need to build around, so you're not going to sell him. Partey at 27 is valued around £50 million. Well, is he? Has his value gone up or has it gone down? Do you want to lose him? Odegaard is on loan, so you've got no value with him. Pepe is valued at around 35 million, which is a 50% reduction in what you paid for him, which again highlights the problem. Poor purchases that haven't shown dividends for you on the pitch. Aubameyang, 31. What are you going to get for him? Who's going to buy him with the wages anyway? You don't want to lose him. Lacazette, 20 million probably at 29. The value in that Arsenal team to actually sell shows you 1 or 2 problems. One problem is you don't really have assets that you want to sell to bring better players in. The second problem is you don't actually have a lot of assets in that club anyway. So building for the future is going to be very difficult for Arteta or any Arsenal manager, unless I think your answer is very similar to what Manchester United's is, but almost like if Manchester United is Tesco, you're Poundland, because you are at a lower level. And I know Arsenal fans aren't going to like that, but I'm talking about this from a serious point of view. I'm talking and asking the question, why are Arsenal nowhere near where they need to be? And when you look at it, the club is being run badly. You are bad purchases, which have decreased in value. Not an abundance of talent in the squad, which is a problem when you want to achieve on the pitch, but also how are you going to generate funds to bring better players in? There has to be a focus on youth, which I think Arteta is looking to do. He's trying to get rid of those players that aren't good enough that are on big wages, but that's a long process and it doesn't necessarily boost his transfer funds. Arteta to me, or Arsenal to me, need a probably... They probably fit the 3-year plan better than United do. I think it's a 3-year plan to become a top 4 club again. And to do that, you're going to need some of these young players to keep going up the levels so that they become very, very, very good players and first team reliable players. And also, you're going to need quite a few of them. Because what is the depth beyond Aubameyang, who's getting older? What is the solution to someone like a Pepe, who just hasn't fulfilled his talent? What's going to happen with Thomas Partey? Is there enough quality in that Arsenal squad how it is? No, there isn't. So you're dependent on the squad that you've got. And you're not going to be able to bring lots of players in unless there's a massive influx of cash. But I think Arsenal is run very similarly to Manchester United, where you've got businessmen who want and have shown a longer track record, or as long a track record as the Glazers, that if it's top 4, we're happy. We're not going to invest anything more than that. The Arsenal board, which is changed, I admit, but their mentality under Wenger was top 4 and we're happy. You went from Invincibles and one of the best teams in England to being a team that top 4 was okay. And look, I mean, I think this is right. I did write it down. FA Cups, they've won 4 in the last 10 years. 2014, 2015, 2017, 2020. So 4 FA Cups. I mean, as a United fan over the last 10 years, I mean, we've won a league title, so I wouldn't swap that. But the FA Cup thing's not bad. But top 4 is where Arsenal should be. And I'm sure most Arsenal fans would say I'd rather have the 4 FA Cups than being in the top 4 for the last few years. But your owners wouldn't. Your owners want that. But how do they get that? And is it achievable? And for me, I think Arsenal are not in a crisis, but they're not where they should be. I think there's reasons and there's sprouts of green to feel that something might be happening, but I certainly don't think, and I would hope that Arsenal fans don't think this. I hope you don't think that giving Allegri the job or Nagelsmann the job is going to make you a top 4 club. I think in a very similar situation to Manchester United, but a lower level, we're second in the league at the moment. There is no way we can win the title with the coaching setup and the squad that we have. We can't do it. There has to be more money put into the team, and there has to be an improvement in the coaching. Even though we're getting better and we are growing, we're not ready yet, and there has to be better players. At Arsenal, you may well have the right coach, but you do not have the right squad to get top 4. You look at next season, how many teams are better than you? United, City, Liverpool, obviously, Chelsea. That's 4 straight away. That's top 4 gone. But even if one of them slipped, like Liverpool did this year, are you going to be the team that takes the top 4 spot, or will it be Leicester, who are consistently up there and have money? Is it or Spurs, who realistically have a better squad than you? And that's before you get into teams like Everton and Villa and other clubs. So for Arsenal, the challenge is huge. And I think it's hard. It's very hard when you're a big club and you're a fan of a big club to accept this, because why should you accept it? And the big question is exactly what we've spoken about. How and why have Arsenal dropped to this level? But reality is, and it's hard for Arsenal fans to do it because they're so emotionally involved, and you know your history and you know you're a big club, but you're not a big club at the moment, and you're a long way off getting into that top 4. Europa League could be a rescue act. It could. Europa League could give you money in the summer to bring players in. Maybe that's the rest. It's Europa League or nothing. But that will probably be the same next year, because I don't see I don't see Arsenal being in the top 4 for at least 3 years, and that in itself is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous for a club like them. Anyway, look, a broad stroke of what's going on at Arsenal there from an outsider. But yeah, I think reality bites. I think Arsenal are crap compared to where they should be, but they should be a top 4 club. They should be a top 4 club. Some Arsenal fans would say we should be a title-winning club. I think Man United should be as well, but you should be a top 4 club, and you're nowhere near it. And why is that? Why are Arsenal so far away? We can all joke, we can all say that because they're crap, and obviously that there's an element of truth to that. But to me, I think it's the structure of your football club, and I think it's the way the football club is at the moment. I don't see it getting any better for a long time. You're going to have to put the hard yards in. You're going to have to build it up over the next 3 years. And you're going to have to not lose people like Saka, because coming through the youth setup, you need 2 or 3 more of those. And you're going to need a bit of patience. And ultimately, you probably need new owners. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Get your comments in. I'm really interested to see what everyone's got to say on this one. And I'll speak to you soon. Make sure you subscribe.